considering which direction to go than we do as a city. And it's something that I spoke to the manager earlier this week, and obviously he's trying to keep an eye on it, as am I, I'm sure all of you are. But our CRAs are quite often the butt of jokes and quite often attacked in the line. In my opinion, it's not unreasonable for us as a commission to think about doing things radically different than the way they've been done. I mean, it's not unreasonable. It's not, I don't think it's too far-fetched for us to have a conversation about having a major overhaul of them. And this is one of the things that's on my list. And she mentioned the word, or the phrase, having a few representatives from each, because cities do these boards differently in different places, and we can change how they're done. And so I really would suggest that that staff investigate how we could, what are some options that we might have to change them and to make them obviously more efficient, but to make them work better and to make them more measurable. And then by measurable, that to me, that's just another word for accountable. Accountable for excellence. And that's the standard that the residents are holding us to and that they expect for us to achieve on every front. But when I talk to people, they do not feel that they operate in an excellent fashion. So we're here to discuss, but we're also here to be able to begin to lay out what we want. And so that's one of the things that's on my list. In fact, I think I worded it: review and revise CRA procedures, have measurable outcomes associated with each or it, meaning that it could be totally condensed into one or something different. And so what I'm suggesting is that we perhaps consider a workshop in the future where staff comes and gives us options as to how we can, overhaul it. Yes, ma'am.
I brought it up a few years ago, and I'll bring it up again. I know there's still need on the CRAs. It's not that it's not at red. Downtown Louisville. And again, what everybody needs to remember is when it's in the CRA, it's not going into the general fund. So does it make sense for us to continue to have the number of CRAs that we do? Or should we look at not keeping all of it and let that money go into the general fund? And what we start with the ones that are not using. So, I'm not a fan of CRAs. I think you go a block west off A1A, and we've not been successful in the Main Street CRA at all. On the ocean, yes, but has it revitalized? Has it turned those neighborhoods around? No. But again, we're having conversations about doing things differently. So I would not consider our CRA a success in this town. We've had some degree of improvement, but for as long as Main Street and A1A has been one, I would say no. So I'm certainly going to do that, but I think we ought to get everything on the table. We're going to talk about it, we can talk about it.
Well, I'm definitely the type of person that believes in talking about everything. I'm one of the ones that, though, I also always say I don't know what the beachside would look like without the beachside improvements. I don't know if I would ever want to see what the beach would be like now without. It's kind of, when you're looking at CRAs, you see some improvement, but you just don't know if it's enough. Go ahead.
It's something to be addressed also, maybe where you can chime in on this one. What can the county do effectively to our CRA? Do they have any legal ability to eliminate our CRA?
They were not the ones that we have existing debt on, and when the county has twice before taken some actions on the CRAs. The last action we took was to impose some new requirements on it, but they have so far left the existing CRAs that were created with full authorities, left those alone. They have curtailed our ability to extend them further, so we have the last date, the date where they terminate, I think is 2039, 36. Yeah, so that's kind of the drop dead thing.
Okay, because it's my understanding that they're having a large discussion in the county tomorrow regarding the CRAs, and if they think that they can legally eliminate some of the CRAs, you know, we will have to, it'll be, our discussion will be contingent upon the results of those actions. So I don't know, you know, the workshop will obviously, the details of the workshop will be contingent upon what happens there.
I wouldn't
Be
be
the
surprised
substance
if
of
they
legal
went
fights.
the other direction. I know one county council member, new person that is a huge advocate for expanding them and using more incentive money to encourage investments. I wouldn't try to predict what the outcome is.
Oh, I'm not, no, under no circumstances.
They could easily go the other direction.
Of course.
To figure out how do we get more money invested into those areas. So, you know, it certainly is an issue for them because a lot of the money that's going there is county, you know, tax. You know, I mean, we've got, Pam brought up that, you know, it takes the money out of general fund and puts it in, you know, kind of forces you to use it in that particular geographic area. But ultimately, if you give that up, you're gonna give up that county money,
Yes.
and it may go to Deland. So you may see significantly less county investment in the city of Daytona Beach if you lose your CMAs. That probably would happen. So if they got to that point, I would bet they would probably want like a payback period where they would, you know, take that money and do something else with it, because there is, you know, some of the administration in county government, you know, really looks upon it as, you know, not very favorable. So, you know, I think they recognize the, you know, what blight is, and these are blighted areas. And build on your comment, you know, I remember going down to the boardwalk when I was a kid, you know, and it was dangerous once back then, in the 70s. You know, it's, I take my kids down there now, it's great. You know, so has it gotten into the neighborhoods? No. But have we seen, you know, 9 figures worth of investment over there because of the Main Street CRA? Yes. So, you know, we have successes. I'd like to see more as well, but it doesn't mean that you know, you need to do something overly drastic, because we have seen so many things improve.
Just a brief comment on the county's CRA effort. I think there's a significant amount of interest on the part of the county of finding additional funds for some of the revenue needs coming forward in the future years, and that might be some of the motivation for looking at it. I don't agree with some of the assessment about the Main Street CRA, because I think it did exactly what it was supposed to do. You know, we redeveloped an area that was blighted, and we've got $132 million worth of improvements that would not have been there if you had not had a CRA. You have 1,000 new jobs in that location that probably would not have been there either. So the improvements and the investment in the area are significant, and to my mind, it's a poster child for what you should be doing with CRAs. Are we complete? No. Can we do more? Yes. And that's what we intend to do.
Mr. Mayor, I'm open to discussion regarding this, but I can tell you that my constituents probably would not go for the combined. And they already feel as if they're not getting the recognition that they deserve. But we can't have an open discussion regarding it. They probably would feel that they would be falling through the cracks even more so, because then you got to take turns with your connected effort. I think what we need to do is to hold them accountable. I know that there are at least 4 or 5 new people, you know, on the Midtown board, but I don't think they know anything about, many of them don't know anything about zoning or the land, you know, development code or anything. We need to train them and let them know what their responsibilities are and hold them accountable. And I know Midtown needs some help, and I think we need to help them.
Well, Midtown's not the only one that needs help, but they do, but they all really need help. Meaning, and I'm not here to badger the residents who participate on it, because, you know, they are volunteering. But therein lies a part of the discussion, and I don't want to get into that right now. But if you condensed it, you'd have less to work with. But that's another issue. I really don't want to. I think I'll take us off task. Any others? Anything else that was said? Okay.